Welcome back. This is Richard Kuhns, author of How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons, chronic Lyme, and other skin parasites. By the way, chronic versus acute. Chronic means long-term, like 6 months or more, then you're classified as chronic. Acute means it hurts like hell and it could be here 10 minutes and gone. The pain is intense, but it doesn't have any length associated with it. Well, anyway, this segment is about stress management. It is September 19th, 2021, and I'm here with Robin, my co-host, and we're going to have fun with managing stress. Now, managing stress is important. The topic came up in our question and answer period, and when we get stressed out, and that's also more easily done when we're dealing with parasites. I mean, we go through life at this level here, and all right, so we get stressed out, we pop up a little bit, and we adjust to it's a normal life, and it's up like this, man. But when we're dealing with parasites, we're here. We're operating up here already, and when we get stressed out, we're over the top. Little thing goes wrong, and man, it's like the end of the world has come. Robin lost her refrigerator. She freaked out. I mean, these are things that happen, and any typical things that normally happen put us over the top. All right, why is that a problem? Well, because when those little things put us over the top, what happens with our body? What is going on with our hormones? You see, when we go over the top, our intelligence, our subconscious intelligence, perceives it to be a threat to our being. Suddenly that refrigerator broke down. It's just not a refrigerator broke down, but it's a threat to our social and economic being, big time. And according to Dr. Kenneth Pelletier, who wrote a fantastic book back in the 80s, Mind as Healer, Mind as Slayer, your brain can't tell the difference between a physical threat like a pit bull attacking you versus your wallet being empty, financial stress, or anything that challenges your ego. It's all the same thing to the brain. It prepares you to fight or run with three big hormones: adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol. Now, cortisol is the actor. It's got a lot of play here. What you see, now, if you actually could fight that refrigerator and go in a boxing ring with it and beat the hell out of it, well, okay, everything would be fine. But that's not an appropriate response. You don't fight refrigerators. You don't fight people who insult you, perhaps, or whatever you interpret may be an insult or whatever. You don't fight these things. But yet the body is prepared, and cortisol is a metabolizer of sugar. It dumps a whole bunch of sugar into your system to have you ready to fight and tear that head off of that refrigerator or run away and escape. But you're not going to do either one. So what you are left with is bloodstream loaded with sugar, fuel for parasites. Fuel for parasites. Sugar's not on the diet. So in the midst of stress, I remember many times I get stressed out, and man, I was itching. I got, tight clothing, particularly around the belt where it's a little tighter. That would drive me crazy. If I had a hat on, it'd be right here. That's stress, and parasites love you being stressed out. Well, we've added this segment because we want to give you some practical means of catching yourself in the stress response, backing up, bringing yourself from here down to here, so that you can get your life back without tipping the scales in the direction for the parasites to enjoy you. Now, we have many things here that help that. We have techniques, breathing techniques, a technique called tapping. We have belly laughter. We have coaches too. You know, a big problem, at least 20 years ago, I had nobody to talk to. You know, and we didn't even have Facebook, but I'm glad we didn't. You know, because what I see on Facebook, you know, it's ridiculous. I won't even comment on anybody on Facebook anymore. It you know, looking for the quick. So I understand it. I was looking for a quick pill. Yeah, I mean, back in the 90s, I was looking for the doctor who had the pill that I would take for a week or two and get things over with. It has to be there, right? It's got to be out there. I mean, we were in the 1990s then. Now we're into 2021, and it's still no different. That pill doesn't exist. And if you go back and listen to program after program, we've had people share that they've been to 5 doctors and gotten nowhere. They've been to 10 doctors and gotten nowhere. One lady claimed to have gone to 70 doctors and gotten nowhere. They get thrown out of ERs. Sure, go to the emergency room and tell them you're itching and you think you have more gallons. Out, get out of here. We got more important things to do. You know, and you get classified as delusional. Add that to your resume of your medical background, and the doctor share this information. You know, you get into a database, and you go to a different doctor in a different state. Hey, you're a nut. It shows up on your record already. You know, so a lot of stress out there, and our goal here is to help bring it down. So, as I was saying, back in the 90s, there was nobody for me to talk to. Facebook wasn't there, and as I said, it's a good thing it wasn't, because you don't find anything on Facebook of any value. And even people who have posted, you know, this is weird. Look, all these groups about Facebook are there to help people. But you go ahead and post, why don't you call up Richard Kuhns, or why don't you go to debridingsoap.com, and they're going to kick you off. Really, they're going to kick you off like you're promoting somebody. Why don't you go to Amazon and find my book with 250 4.4-star reviews? They're going to kick you off. There's nobody in this world that has anything close to what you're going to find in my book. And look at the reviews, but they're going to kick you off. So what good is Facebook anyway? Well, finding information is difficult, but not here. We are free in terms of information. You read the book. You know, it's a self-help program. It's something I didn't have back in the 90s. I didn't have a self-help program. I didn't have any. I saw sketchy stuff on the internet. Somebody say, hey, I got cured. Now, I don't know what they got cured of, but it seemed like it might be what I had. So I tried to find out information, be very sketchy, and lead me down a rabbit hole that went nowhere. Just another disappointment after another disappointment after another disappointment. And I said to myself, I didn't think I would ever be where I am today. I didn't think I would ever beat these things. But I did. I beat columbella, that's springtails. I beat skin fungus. I beat Morgellons. I beat chronic Lyme disease and Strongyloides cervicalis. So, where do you get information like this? Well, the good news is you have us. You can come here every Sunday and you can ask questions and we'll answer them. I didn't find anybody that I could even email or write a question to. But we're here, and that's a tremendous stress reducer, just to know that you have somebody that you can communicate with. And the book, read that book. The people who get their lives back don't read it or skim it one time. Now, practically everybody who fills out the questionnaire has got some level of brain fog. That means you read, a page, you get to the bottom of the page, what the hell did I read? What did they say? What do you read? Yeah. And you go back and read it again. And you get to the bottom of the page and, God, you might have to read the page 3 times before you realize what was said there. Well, this is why I encourage you that as you're reading, you take notes. The more senses you involve, the more effective the learning process is. So just don't read with your eyes. As you're reading, mouth the words. Talk them out loud. Write down. Outline things. I got a 4.0 in college because when I went through a book, I outlined everything. I wanted to make it like I knew how to teach it. Like if the professor called upon me, that I would be able to deliver what he was doing. So read the book like that, outline it. So the more you put into it, and as I said, I know brain fog is there, but we have ways around it. The more senses you use, the more effective. So you outline it, you put in Post-its, you read that book. You go to chapter 4, start there. Get that diet going. Now, of course, the AMA and the FDA says before you do that, you discuss it with your doctor to make sure it's not going to interfere with any health problems. But it happens to be the most effective and healthiest diet on the planet. Well, yeah, you can eat nothing but hamburger and be on the diet, but then you're stupid, okay? It's got green leaf vegetables and all kinds of good stuff there as well. Now, so read chapter 4, get that diet going. Study the diet. There's you get a PDF of it that you can put on your phone when you go shopping to make it easy so you don't make any mistakes when you're reading the labels, So you get the diet going. Chapter 3 is how to clean your skin, how to disinfect. You do those 2 chapters and you master them, you've got your life back. You're on the path, okay? Now, there may be questions. It's not a perfect book. All right, and there may be questions about the diet. All right, now we kick in our coaches. We have phenomenal, wonderful, fantastic people who have devoted their time to be available for you. Something I never had back in the 90s. You can call Robin, you can call Anna, you can call Megan, you can call Ethel. And they're more than willing to share their time and love and appreciation to help you. But don't waste their time trying to get them to convince you to do the program. No, don't waste their time to spoon feed you. All right? Read it, work it, and then have them help you figure out where you might be making a mistake. Okay? Now, I can't imagine any better way of bringing that stress level down than taking advantage of what we have to offer. Plus, you don't get to really call me up. I hate phone calls, okay? And I will coach you, and it's $125 for a half hour, and I will love every minute I'm on the phone with you, but it's a scheduled time for you and I think my coaches are better than me, actually, because they're dealing with it. It's been years since I've dealt with it, but they're just coming out of it and dealing with it. So, but the other thing is you can email me. Questions, please keep them short. I don't know if I have dyslexia like Robin says she has, but long emails, man, they get in the reminder folder. They get in a folder that says, when you have time, Richard, you can go look at them. So that might be next week. It might be 2 weeks from now. So if you send me a long email with a long story, there are 2 folders. One that goes into drafts, and I might not find that email for maybe 3 weeks from now. And I'll say, okay, I'll read it. And I'll sit down and I'll read it. And I see one little question in there amongst all this, and I'll respond, and I'll say, I'm sorry, but I'm just getting back to you now. Or it will go into the story file. I have a file that I keep for stories. And one day we might make just a book about stories, because the stories are less long and everybody's got story. I've got story, Robin's got story, everybody's got story, and that's all history. But it doesn't matter. What your story is doesn't matter. What you do is what matters. What you do to take advantage. So please email me a question. You can 2 or 3 short questions. I'll be glad to. Usually, you'll be surprised. Gosh, the guy got back to me in 2 minutes. Could be a day. You might email me a question, and I'm not an encyclopedia. So sometimes I need to go to Google or something, and research and find an answer. So you might say I have some medical issue, and I might go look up that medical issue, because I'm not a doctor and I don't know what it is, and so I certainly would want to know what you're dealing with in order to answer the question. So these are opportunities for you to bring that stress threshold down. Now, Robin's going to go through a stress management technique. Which one would you like to do, Robin? Deep breathing or tapping? You did tapping last week, but it didn't get recorded. So you want to do that one?
Yeah, I'd like to do that one.
Okay. Now, this is a technique that you can do anytime that you have a minute or 2 to yourself. Okay. Go right ahead.
All right. So tapping is very cool because you can pick something that is very specific, that's stressing you out, and then you can lower the stress level of that one thing, and you can do it over and over till that one thing has almost no stress level, and you can do it again and again with multiple things. So I want everyone to think of one thing that is totally stressing you out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a gentle karate chop from one hand onto our arm or onto a piece of furniture. Yeah. And then we're going to take our first 2 fingers of each hand. We're going to tap on the top of our head. We're going to tap above our eyes, on the side of our eyes, under our nose, our chin, under our neck, and then right there we're going to rub. And while we're tapping, I'm going to be saying things, and I want you to say them or think them to yourself as we do it in relation to the one thing you picked. So you picked one thing, and you're going to give it a stress number from 1 to 10, where 10 is the absolute worst and 1 is almost no stress. Okay, so get that in your head, and have some water nearby for afterwards to take a drink of water or Cistus Tea to flush out toxins when we're done. Okay, so we're going to take a cleansing breath. And now we're going to tap the karate chop, and we're going to say, this is a really hard situation, and it's awful. And then we're going to tap on top of our head, and we're going to say, this situation stinks, but I'm going to love and respect myself in the midst of it. And then we're going to tap above our eyebrows. I don't know how this will end or what will happen, but I am going to love and respect myself no matter what. And then on the side of our eyes, I'm not happy about this situation, but I will never stop loving and respecting myself. Under our eyes, it's really hard, but I love and respect myself in the midst of it. Under our nose, I'm going to breathe, and I'm going to trust and love and respect myself. Chin, it's not easy, it's not fun, but I will love and respect myself no matter what. Under our neck, and then rub gently. It might be a little sore because you're releasing toxins. And then take a cleansing breath and a nice sip of water or Cistus Tea.
Yeah. Oh, that was fantastic.
And then think about, so Richard, were you thinking about anything in particular? Did that number go down?
Well, I wasn't thinking about it. I am pretty flat right now. I'm at a 0.
Okay.
I'm great. So.
Yeah, I didn't have, this is the first time I've done this where I didn't have anything I had to assign a number to. So I just feel even better.
May all days be like this for us and everyone else.
Amen.
Amen. Okay. Just a couple of comments. Hydration is very important. Drink lots of water. And Robin mentioned a tea. It's called Cistus Tea. Cistus Tea. It's probably one of the healthiest teas on the planet. And we do happen to have it in the store. I drink it I make a pot of it every Sunday, and it lasts a whole week.
I know, I make it too.
It's amazing. So, and it's great. So it does so much. It's anti-inflammatory. It helps clear toxins. I mean, you go to we have a catalog, a folder in our store about teas. We have a lot of great teas: peppermint, lemon, spearmint, all kinds of wonderful teas there, and the Cistus tea as well. So you can read about it there as well. Now, so I want to thank you, Robin, for sharing that with us. When you see it on YouTube, it makes a lot more sense and how to do it as well. And you can do it anytime during the day, as many times as you want during the day. I wouldn't recommend doing it in a store while you're walking around. People might look, look a little strange, but you can do it sitting in the car in a parking lot or something like that to relax. You can also do the deep breathing techniques that we've done many times on other stress segments as well.